I met a gypsy.
More and more people are trying to do those trips. Like, you've seen how many more people are up there?
Yeah, it's certainly more accessible now. Like, you know, shit, you can deck your car out with a fridge, dual battery. People are taking coffee machines in their cars now.
That's me.
Yeah, like the mod cons you can take with you is just, it's made it accessible for so many people to get out there and have a go. And as a result, and COVID as well, has just kept people in Australia, and so they're
just
exploring it, and heaps of people are checking out, which is cool. I think that's a real positive thing. I think that's really cool when families are doing their holidays in Australia, showing their kids Australia. I think it's cool. Yeah. So it's definitely changing. Like, give it another 20 years, and it'll be very different. Yeah. I'm seeing tracks, and you'll see this in the motorcycle, like, you know, dirt bike game. So many tracks are getting shut down left, right, and centre, and it's going to be a situation where the only shit you'll be able to do is on private property. Down the track, like,
and even that these days is gnarly. Like, especially for us, it's noise. You know, like, you can't build. You can't build. Well, electric bikes. Well, that's what we were in Europe for. We actually rode like the Tesla of motocross. It was really fucking out of control. So that's going to change.
Weird, yeah,
it's going to change everything.
That'll be weird with four-wheel drives that are quiet.
Oh, dude, have you seen much of the Ford F-150?
Yeah, I've seen it.
That thing looks mint.
Have
you seen that?
That's a new electric one.
Yeah. Look that shit up, dude.
That's wild, eh? And there's a Hummer that I saw in the States, 1,000 horsepower.
Really?
Hummer, yeah. It does like 0 to 100 in like 3 seconds, and it weighs like fucking 3 or 4 ton. It's amazing.
That's psych. Have you driven a Tesla?
Nah, I've been in a passenger as well.
Okay,
yeah.
So
I've
you
never
know
driven.
that feeling.
Yeah, it's odd. It's super quiet.
Dude, these things, this is a massive move for Ford. That's the number one selling car in America.
Wow.
And they now have an electric version of it. And it looks like, I've watched a bunch of reviews and shit. Dude, I'm fucking all in. If we end up getting to do the America thing with the studio, I'll just get one just to fucking be a nerd, because that to me is sick.
It's different, hey. I'd like to, don't get me wrong, I'd love to drive one. I think they'll actually go really well. There's a part of me, I just love old cars. I love the
sound.
Yeah, man.
Glow light.
I love like Aussie muscle cars. I love old four-wheel drives. I love anything that you've really got to steer, you know. But I'm a car head as well, and I just love I love new cars that come out, and I'd give that thing a steer.
Fucking oath, man. How's cool too. How's the front space in the thing?
Yeah, that's odd. There's no engine in there.
Massive, like, that'll actually just change camping purely because it's the 240 volt capacity.
Well,
so that thing's got outlets the whole way through it. So you could literally take your thermo mixers and fridges and fucking run it off that. I mean, if you're traveling though, like up Cape York and shit. But I mean, you wonder where solar's going to get to the point where they can charge on the go. That's
the big thing, I suppose, is getting that range, being able to do 1,000 Ks without plugging into some fancy charger.
Imagine Fruit Bat Falls with like a fucking Tesla charger stay, like a supercharger.
We laugh,
there.
bro, but it's going to be like...
That'll happen?
It'll happen in our lifetimes, which is kind of crazy, man.
The scary thing about the electric stuff is, like, I'm a decent rider.
Yeah.
Like, you're a decent four-wheel driver. You're not a fucking winning world championships at four-wheel driving.
Yeah.
But I got in this bike, and it just made me so much better.
Really? So it was
so much better. And you just got to think, you'd know your limitations as a driver, and you'd know the car's limitations, and then so you go and add like this new tool like this, and there'll be ways that it'll just like elevate your driving and the experience, and that's where the argument of the to and the fro, like what you just said about the old cars to this new, people are going to get in them and just be able to fucking drive way better than they could before.
Without a doubt. You jump in like an old Aussie muscle car and drive it, and the thing's good in a straight line, but anything else, it's horrendous,
like
right?
Boat.
Yeah, and you think it's quick because you can hear the V8 engine and blah, but it's like my missus has got a Golf, and it would kill my Monaro, right? It would smoke it in every single way, like round corners, even on the straight, probably like a little GDI. I think it goes like a shower of shit, that thing, and but there's that. It's just the feeling. That's all it is.
It's the vibe. It's the gist. It's the constitution.
On paper, it's definitely not a superior vehicle to anything modern. There's no doubt about it.
100%. But it'll be interesting to see what that particularly will do. I think they've got a noise feature, like you can actually turn on to make it sound like an F-150.
That's pretty sick.
So I think that might get some people across the line. But I was watching a video. I can't remember who did it. But they basically were at in Texas at an American car convention, and they were asking people about the electric car.
It'd be a tough crowd in Texas, maybe.
Yeah, and they were like, he was reading out I think he was like reading out the spec sheet, and they were like, "Oh, I'd like a piece of that. That sounds like a great car." And they're like, "Well, it's electric," and they're all like, "Oh, I ain't getting electric."
Yeah, that's exactly the thing on paper, man. Like they make those electric engines make instant torque, like it's huge amounts of torque, like things that we can't comprehend with petrol or diesel, and so.
And it's always there.
Yeah,
no clutch,
just
no
linear,
gears.
just power.
Find the Hummer. I want to see what that looks like.
It's crazy, man. Look at 1,000 horsepower. 1,000 horsepower.
That's a lot.
Like a vehicle that that's it. That's it.
We should see if there's any videos. I think. Fuck, that doesn't look that
it's
bad.
Okay, it's a proper big rig too, and like its stats are phenomenal.
Go to see if there's a YouTube or something, Rones. Here we go. Just turn the volume down. Oh, this is a fancy video. Did you just make this?
Nah. Does have a little bit more dirt on it.
Dude, that looks sick, eh?
Yeah. I think, don't quote me on that, but it's got like a couple of thousand Newton meters of torque.
Fuck.
And 1,000 horsepower, and at 0 to 60 in 1,000 horsepower, and at 0 to 60 in 3 and a bit seconds. Yeah, 11,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's the Dirty 30 got?
Okay, and it's no slouch, the old Dirty 30. It's it'd be close to 300 horsepower and probably nearly 1,000 Newton meters, which is a bit of a beast. And
not even in the same fucking conversation.
That thing could tow 4 of my Dirty 30s and still beat it.
While your Dirty 30s were all in reverse,
yeah,
trying to pull away from it.
And it would just smoke it all.
Dude, that is gnarly.
Yeah, I knew it was a couple of thousand, but I didn't think
11,000.
That's
Got 400.
yeah.
Oh, hey, it's a nice Rubicon. Thing, nice little Jeep. Rones has got himself a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's a go.
That is wild, dude. So would you try and take one of them 4-wheel driving?
If someone gave me the keys to that, I'd be all over it.
You make that happen over there for sure.
Yeah, I'd love to have a steer to see what they're like. I'd imagine because in 4-wheel driving, low down torque is where it's at. You could have 500 horsepower,
but if you can't put it to the ground,
doesn't matter. And if it doesn't make torque early in the rev range, it's useless off road. I've seen people come out with all these fancy rigs and that, but they don't make any power until 2,500 RPM, and you need power, from almost idle.
Yeah,
and, so that's why some of these old Hiluxes, like the little LN106s with 60 kilowatts, no shit, and they'll outdrive all these other things because when you put them in low range, they don't have much, but what you do have is available there straight away.
Yeah,
and they'll. You start to sink, you just put your foot down and out it goes. And these other ones, you've got to spool it up before it gets to 2,500 RPM, and then it's spinning, and all of a sudden you're already stuck, and you're just revving the shit out of it, and it's not going anywhere.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.